Bienvenue, bonjour, welcome to Year 10 French Higher Remote Learning Week 2. This is for the higher students. There is a foundation video over on YouTube, so you're welcome to access that too, if you feel that this is a little bit too challenging, but you're also welcome to have a look at it for revision purposes as well. Bon, aujourd'hui, on va parler des maisons différentes, so we're talking about your house. Endroit, so what we must do this lesson, so we're going to enhance the description of your house with well-selected adjectives and understand description of others' houses. On devrait, so we're going to use negative phrases to express what there is not, or never, or no longer. And on pourrait, so what you could do, use past tense phrases and high-frequency language to give a detailed description of your home. Okay, and that's what we're going to aim towards, is writing a very detailed description of your home and your local area by the end of this, so that if somebody says write a 150-word essay, you'll be able to do it just like that. Okay, bien. Bon, pour commencer, trouve les erreurs. Okay, il y a des erreurs dans ces phrases. Sur ma chambre, j'ai un jaune bureau grand, par exemple. Il y a quelques erreurs là. Okay, et dans chaque phrase suivante, il y a quelques erreurs. Il faut trouver les erreurs et corriger-les. Okay, écris les phrases. Okay. Pause la vidéo et puis on va les corriger ensemble. Okay, bon. So, dans ma chambre, j'ai un grand bureau jaune. Okay, we were looking last week at bags adjectives, weren't we? So it was the things that described beauty, age, goodness and size. Okay. So here, un grand bureau. So the bureau is the noun. Grand is big, so it's a big desk, and it's jaune, so your adjective of colour comes after the noun, okay, but your bag's adjective comes before, and it's not sur ma chambre, obviously that means on my bedroom. We want dans ma chambre, which is in my bedroom. Okay. Dans ma chambre j'ai une armoire nouvelle. Well, nouvelle is a bag's adjective, so it's going to come before your noun. So dans ma chambre j'ai une nouvelle armoire. Ma sœur a un joli pull rouge, not un joli rouge pull. Joli is going to stay before the noun because it's a bag's adjective. It describes beauty. So joli, pretty. Pull is your noun and rouge is your adjective of colour, so it will come after. Sous mon lit, j'ai une boîte en plastique. Okay, not je suis une boîte en plastique, because that would mean I am a plastic box. J'ai une boîte en plastique. I have a plastic box. Et ma mère a un grand vieux sac bleu en velours. So my mum has a large old blue velvet bag. Lots of different adjectives to get your head round there, but remember that these ones here have to come after. Always the on plus what it's made of comes at the very end. And your grand and your vieux describe size and age. Bon. Okay. So get anything down that you didn't know there. If you got all those right, well done. It was looking back at your fact book learning from last week, really, and making sure that you were happy with the understanding. If there are any problems at all you have to do is come over to the Teams channel on Monday, or drop me a line or send me a message on that channel, and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. If it's not Monday, don't worry, just send me a message anyway, and I'll come back to you as quickly as I can, okay? Bon, okay, on continue. So, regarde le plan de la maison. Où sont les meubles? Where is the furniture? Okay. Il y a les pièces de la maison ici. Les pièces, rooms of the house. Okay. Il faut identifier le meuble. Il faut dire où il est. Okay. Donc, par exemple, où est le lit? Okay. Le lit is your bed. There are two chambres. There's two beds. You could put whatever you wanted to here. Okay. Wherever it is. So, if you're going to say that it's in the bedroom, okay, you might add to that description by saying it's underneath the window, or it's next to the wardrobe, or it's next to the chair here, okay? So you can, if you can add to it in any way, then do so, okay? Et il y en a 5. Où est le lit? C'est numéro 1. Où est la table en bois? Où est le fauteuil en velours? Où est la commode? Et où est la téléphone blanche? Okay? Pause la vidéo maintenant et réponds aux questions. Okay, so où est le lit? Le lit est dans la chambre, ça c'est évident. En face de la commode marron en bois. So I've just chosen to write a little bit more. I chose this one here. We've got une commode, it's marron, it's en bois. Yeah, so I chose to write a little bit more, and I used my prepositions from last week en face de. Okay. Où est la table en bois? La table en bois est dans la salle à manger entre les chaises vertes. So I chose this one here, une table en bois. There are others. There's this one here in the sorry, I chose one in the salle à manger, didn't I? There's one in the salon as well. There's one here. There's a table. There's tables all over the place. So whatever you chose to put, did you put a little bit more? Entre les chaises vertes. So I've used my preposition from last week. I've described it with adjectives, and I've used a bit of my furniture from last week. Où est le fauteuil en velours? Le fauteuil est dans le salon, sous l'étagère et à côté du canapé. A bit longer there, a bit more of a sentence, okay, telling you where le fauteuil is. Ça c'est le fauteuil, okay, sous l'étagère, dans le salon, à côté du canapé. Ça c'est le canapé, okay. Où est la commode? La commode est dans le grenier. La commode, il y a une commode ici, okay, à côté de la fenêtre. You might have put, I don't know, you could have put en face des rideaux, that looks like curtains there, it might be. You could have put sous l'étagère, it looks like some shelves just there, or sous la bibliothèque if it's a bookshelf. Just use your imagination, use what you see. Où est la téléphone blanche? La téléphone blanche est dans l'entrée, ça c'est l'entrée, the hallway, sur la table en bois. Okay, so you've got a table en bois, téléphone blanche. You could have put à côté de l'escalier, next to the staircase. You could have put sous le miroir, under the mirror. You could have put à côté de la porte, next to the door. It's up to you what you put. There's no right or wrong here. I just wanted to know where they were and for you to use as much as possible from last week. Okay. Donc, so les maisons différentes. Again, looking at the rooms of the house, looking at different types of houses. Can you work out whose house belongs to who? So we've got 3 pictures here. We've got a chalet, it looks like here. We've got one here that might be, it looks like a house, just a nice large house. We've got one here that looks like it might be in a block of flats, and that's the arrow pointing to it. Your job in the next minute is to decide if it's Cedric, Céline or Michel that lives in each one, and literally match it up with a name and a number. Yeah, okay, so you give you literally 1 minute to have a go at that. You can pause the video now to have a go at it if you wish, or you can just, as I'm talking, skim through and write down what you think, okay? Okay. So, what I want you to do now is to have a look again at these texts. They're quite good as a starting point, okay? We're going to pick out some language, some useful language to get these things into your head. So, où is where, avec qui, who, with, and pièce, okay? Donc, il faut lire les textes, okay? Il faut remplir la table, okay? Avec où, avec qui, et les pièces, les détails ici, okay? So, numéro 1, Céline, or numéro 1, Cédric, wherever we are, okay? I think it's Céline, numéro 1, okay? Où habite-t-elle? Elle habite au Québec, par exemple. Il faut remplir les cadres dans la table. Okay, so pause the video now, have a go at that. Très bien. Okay, et les réponses. So, où alors? If you've got them in a different order, it's really not important as long as you've got the right information about the right house. Okay, so où? So the first one, numéro 1, c'était Céline, Québec, 5 hommes, un chalet, so that's where she lived, and any of those things would be absolutely fine. Avec qui? Avec ses parents. Et les pièces dans la maison, il y en a 6. Il y a un bureau, un studio de photographie, une cuisine, une salle à manger, 2 chambres. Numéro 2, France, Sarlat, that was Cédric. Il habite une vieille maison avec sa famille. Il y a une cuisine, un coin repas, 3 chambres, une salle de bain. Okay. Et Michel habite au Cameroun en Afrique, dans un appartement, dans un immeuble, avec ses parents et ses 2 sœurs. Il y a une cuisine, une salle à manger et un salon. Okay, so pause now if you need to get down what you missed. Okay, maintenant on va écouter. So what I want you to do is listen. Okay, have a look at these questions here, and I want you to listen to the information given And just note down in English, 1 word is fine, 2 words, whatever. It's not about your writing reams and reams now, it's about your understanding. So literally listen to it as many times as you need to. Pause, rewind, go back. It's on this video, it's up to you, okay? You've got 7 questions, 7 things to listen for.
La nouvelle maison de Mani. Le rappeur Mani Mustapha nous présente sa maison.
Salut! J'habite depuis 6 mois dans une maison très spacieuse qui est située dans le centre de Marseille. C'est une grande ville industrielle qui se trouve au bord de la mer, dans le sud de la France, et il fait toujours beau en été. Ma maison a été construite dans les années 90, donc elle est assez moderne, avec 8 chambres, 2 salles de séjour, 3 salles de bain, une grande piscine et une petite salle de musculation. Je suis né au Sénégal, où j'ai habité pendant plusieurs années. Je suis parti quand j'avais 16 ans et j'habite en France depuis 8 ans.
Okay.
La maison de Jasmine.
Très
Non,
bien.
visiter.
Okay. Bien, okay. So, again, rewind, go back as many times as you wish, have a look and decide if you can, pick out any more information. Okay, et les réponses. So, Manny's lived in his house for 6 months. It's big. Marseille's big, industrial, by the sea, the south of France. Always nice weather in summer. There are 8 bedrooms, 2 living rooms, 3 bathrooms. A weights room is number 5. It's salle de musculation, so it's where he does his bodybuilding, a room with weights in it. La musculation is a sport. If you think back to year 7, all that long time ago, you might remember that. Senegal is where he was born, and he's lived in France for 8 years. He said, "J'habite ici depuis 8 ans." Okay, so that's how long he's lived here from. You heard the word says, but you'll come on to see that in a minute. Pause and get down anything you need, and then carry on. So here is the transcript of what you've just listened to. La nouvelle maison de Mani, so Mani's new home, okay? He's telling us about his home. You've got lots and lots of different information here, okay? So what you might want to do is take a screen grab and go back and listen again, okay, to the listening, so that you can listen all the way through with the language here, okay? I've given you useful language, and I've given you high frequency phrases, really good higher phrases, plusieurs, toujours, donc, pour, okay? Pour, for in order to, is always used with the infinitive. So you've got some lovely phrases here that make you sound really French, okay? And a great one here is a passive phrase. Now, if you're aiming for a grade 8 or 9, don't worry too much about what the passive is, unless you're aiming right for the top. If you want some more information on that, you just need to give me a shout. You can give me a shout over on Teams or email me, and I'll give you my email address in a minute. But ma maison a été construite, so my house was built. Whatever, and then the year that it was built in. So for me, ma maison a été construite en 2018, for example, okay? Really beautifully French, very high level language there. Okay, and we've got a couple of phrases here in the past. Je suis né, I was born in. Je suis parti, I left, okay? I know Mrs. Grimes has done a lot with you about the present and the perfect tenses, so we're going to start using those things and bringing them in to make our written and spoken work more interesting. Okay, pause and get down anything you need from there. Go back, have a look. It's up to you. Just explore this text really in detail. Okay, so deuxième partie maintenant. Okay, listen and respond again to the questions below in English. Again, this is all about comprehension. It's all about listening and knowing the information that you're listening for. It's not about your writing in French. It's not about your spelling at the moment. Okay. So that will come. Yeah. So I've got 5 questions there for you. If you have a look, and then what I want you to do is listen for that information.
Nous allons maintenant visiter le village d'origine de Mani, qui se trouve près de Dakar, la capitale du Sénégal. On rencontre la famille de Jasmine qui nous invite chez elle. On a donc la possibilité de vous montrer une maison comme celle où Mani habitait dans sa jeunesse. La différence est étonnante. Il n'y a que 2 chambres, et pour aller au WC, il faut aller derrière la maison. Il n'y a pas de robinet non plus. Il faut aller à la pompe au bout de la rue. Jasmine est allée au café du village avec ses copines hier soir. où elles ont regardé une émission au sujet de son héros Mani. Et aujourd'hui, elles rêvent d'avoir une maison comme la sienne.
Okay, so rewind, listen to that again as many times as you need to. Look at the questions, see what vocabulary you can pick out. And then if you can't, have a look at the answers. If you can't pick anything else out, okay? So pause now if you need to. And have a look at the answers, okay? So the answers here you've got, so where she lives in Dakar, which is the capital of Senegal. It's 2 bedrooms. Jasmine has to go behind, you heard derrière, so outside, yeah, or behind the house to use the bathroom. How do you know she doesn't have running water? There's no tap. A tap is un robinet, and you might not have known that. Or you could say they had to use the pump or the well at the end of the road. You heard the word la pompe. Okay. And last night she went to the cinema with her friends. Now again, you might want to go back, take a screen grab of this or note down the answers, and from what you know, go back and listen again, because it is really interesting how much more you can pick up once you've actually got the answers. You'll think, oh yeah, you know, I did hear that and I wasn't too sure about it. A really good strategy for listening, okay, is to make sure that you answer every other question in each listening. So in your exam or in your lesson, you'll more than likely hear each thing twice, okay? Last week, I think I put everything on for you twice, but this week you can rewind it yourself now, so you can do it as many times as you want, okay? You just need to look at the first, third and fifth questions in your first listening and try and get some of those details and note them down. And then maybe the second time you look for questions 2 and 4, okay? And make sure you've got that down and then check it all, okay? So it's a pity you can't hear things 3 times, because then you could check everything the 3rd time through. But honestly, if you're going to miss a detail, which is probably quite likely between 1 and 2, you're better off looking at every other question, making sure you've got that answer down, and then going for the other questions alternately on the next listening. Okay, just a handy hint for listening there. Okay, so again, we've got La Maison de Jasmine. I've got some useful language for you here and some high frequency phrases. Okay, you might want to go back again and take a screen grab of this and go back and listen again. Okay, this PowerPoint is available over on Teams with the listening on this slide and on Mani's slide as well. So if you'd rather do it that way and go back and look at it without me talking over the top, then you can do that at your leisure. It's in the files section in our team channel of JFC French. Okay, so having a look at this here, read it, pause the video when you're ready to. You've got some things here that we're going to look at in a minute, which are negative phrases, but I'll get you to pause the video now, take down any high frequency phrases that are beautiful here, any useful language you think might be useful, like au bout de, at the end of, beautiful phrase there, I love that. It could say chez elle, to her house. Write down anything that's useful. Pause now, and we'll come back together in a minute. Okay. So what I was talking about before were these negative phrases. So il n'y a que 2 chambres. There are only 2 bedrooms. Ne and que, only. And also in here, il n'y a pas de robinet. There is not a tap. Now in your fact book this week, you've got some negative phrases to look at. So this is the bit in the foundation that you need to know. You probably remember those from Key Stage 3. And these are your higher ones. These are amazing, these phrases. They sound so French, and honestly, it's a really good level of language to be able to use negative phrases correctly, because they're not as straightforward always as they are in English, okay? We've just seen this one here, ne que, which means only, and these are some other ones here. So, thinking about negatives and how you use them. Negative phrases generally start with ne. So each one of these here, you can see, have got ne in front of them. And then I've put 3 dots after each one, and I'll explain that in just a sec. Okay, so for example, you've got ne pas, which means not. The verb goes after ne and is sandwiched by the next part of the negative phrase. So ne, then your verb where the dots are, and then the next part of your negative phrase. So ne pas, ne plus, ne jamais. So if you want to say I don't do, je ne fais pas. If you want to say I don't do it anymore, je ne fais plus. If you want to say I never do it, je ne fais jamais. It's a sandwich. So your verb is the filling, ne is one slice of bread, and your other part of your negative phrase as your second slice of bread, if you like. So, for example, we've got je ne suis pas grande. I am not tall. So the suis comes in between the ne and the pas. Okay, you've got your verb sandwich there. Je n'ai pas d'animal. I haven't got an animal. So you've got your verb here, ai, from avoir, I have. Ne and pas, sandwich the verb. There's your bread. Okay, so je n'ai pas d'animal. I have no pets. And this is true of all of the negative phrases too. One thing to note here, if you've got a verb like avoir, and you've got the ne, and then the next part of your phrase after the verb, then you remember to take off the first e. You always have to elide or take off the first e when you've got two vowels together. Okay, when you've got an e next to another vowel like this. So je n'ai pas. And again, you'd have an e here, wouldn't you, for de and then animal. But we've taken the e away because we've elided that. Okay, we've taken it away because you don't have an e next to another vowel. And this is true of all of the negative phrases, okay? So higher students are going to be expected to be able to use a variety of negative phrases correctly, like I've just said. Plus, they do sound really French. So, for example, je ne fais rien pour aider à la maison. Ne, rien, that's your negative. Fais, is your verb. Okay, pour aider à la maison. Ma maison n'a qu'une salle de séjour. So you've got, again, remember your elision of your e's. Yeah, ne que, which is over here. Ne que, only. So ma maison n'a qu'une salle de séjour. Il n'y a personne chez moi en ce moment. Okay, so il n'y a, so the e and the a. In this instance, this bit here isn't the verb, but it comes as a set phrase. Il y a and il n'y a pas de. I'll explain that to you if you really want me to. You can ask me over on channels, to the Teams channel, but otherwise just know it's a set phrase, il n'y a pas, or il n'y a personne. So il n'y a, and then the negative bit. So il n'y a personne chez moi en ce moment. Ne personne, nobody, there's no one home at the moment. If the negative phrase is followed by a noun, the un, une, or le, l'aller is always replaced by de. Okay? And if you see an instance where it's not, then just ask. And again, I'll explain that grammar point. But for now, you just need to know that it's always replaced by de. Okay? So have a go at these. So for example, je n'ai plus de chips. I've got no more crisps, which is really sad. Okay? So have a go at these four just to check that you've got the idea. Read through your notes. Pause it. I have no idea. I'm using not a single there. I live in the middle of nowhere. There's never any traffic. And she only has one brother. So pause the video now and have a go. Oh. Sorry, pause the video and have a go. Okay, so this is what we were coming up to. This is our culmination of everything we've learned this lesson, everything we've done over the last 2 weeks. Okay, we're starting to put things together now. So pour finir, we're doing paragraph building. Okay. So I've told you to pause the video, but just listen for a second, then you can pause. So you need to introduce a paragraph. Okay. So we're paragraph building now with everything we've learned. We're introducing a paragraph, but don't give random information like your name and age. It's not relevant to the task. So don't always start things. People really fall into this trap of saying, Bonjour, je m'appelle Claire, j'ai 16 ans. I do care about that information, but I don't care right now because I've asked you about your house, okay? So if you're going to introduce a paragraph that you're writing, don't give random information. Make it relevant. Start by sentence building. So you get the basics and then embellish the sentences as you see fit. And I'll go on to show you that in a minute. Don't list. Give a couple of rooms, but maybe then say what's in them, where things are, describe them. Look at what you've learned over the last couple of weeks. All that vocab, all that grammar that you've looked at. Try and use some of that now, okay? The more you use the high frequency language, the easier it becomes. Include at least 3 examples of negative phrases. Give 2 phrases in the past tense. So here, our examples this week have been je suis né, j'ai déménagé, I moved, you could say, yeah. So I think he talked, in Manny's one, he talked about where he was born and he moved. So j'ai déménagé means I moved house, okay. Link sentences with conjunctions, so with things like cependant or mais or aussi or donc. You've had some of those in the really useful language that I've shown you this week. And also say why you think something using a variety of clauses. So saying things like because, parce que, puisque, car. Tell me why you think something. I'm interested, genuinely. Okay. So here's my paragraph. I'm starting by sentence building. So j'habite à Eastleigh depuis 2 ans. Okay, I've lived in Eastleigh for 2 years. Je suis né à Nottingham où j'ai habité pendant plusieurs années. I've literally lifted this from Manny's text, actually. So I was born in Nottingham, where I lived for several years. Ma maison a été construite en 2018, donc c'est très moderne, mais assez douillette. Okay, so my adjectives that I've asked you to look at, okay, this week, okay, they're coming into play now. So we're saying, we're describing, we're using them. So c'est assez douillette, it's quite cozy, it's moderne, and I've used my lovely passive phrase here. Il y a 4 chambres, mais il n'y a qu'une salle de bain, ce qui est très agaçant. So here I've got my clause, my relative clause, ce qui, which is, okay, très agaçant, it's really annoying. So there's 4 bedrooms, but only 1 bathroom, which is really annoying. Dans la cuisine, il y a une grande porte en bois qui donne sur le petit jardin. Okay, so if we were looking back at those texts from the very beginning, okay, qui donne sur means which overlooks the garden. Yeah, so in the kitchen there's a big door, wooden door, which overlooks the little garden. C'est très beau en été car notre maison se trouve près de la campagne et nous faisons beaucoup de randonnées dans les champs. So it's really pretty in summer because our house is near the countryside and we do loads of hikes in the fields, okay, or loads of walks in the fields. So that there is about 90 words, okay? Looking at the information that I've had over the last few weeks, or the last 2 weeks, and what I've been building, okay, in sentence building and paragraph building and all the adjectives, all the negative phrases, all the verbs that you've looked at, I don't see why you can't actually write 90 words and why it should take you any more than about 20 minutes, if that. Okay, so your very last task today is to write for me 90 words about your house. Can you follow these tips here on the left hand side? I'm not going to tell you exactly what you have to put in it, but I want you to look at this, okay, list and try and include everything that's on that. So when we come to do open-ended tasks at the beginning of next year, the 150 word task, I'm going to start giving you less and less information and just a couple of ideas. That I want you to start following how to paragraph build and how to think about things and lay out your essays so that you can then, you're not stuck when you get the 150 words essays, ideas, and they're open-ended essays, and you can sort of hit the ground running with them. Okay, so I'll start taking away this framework pretty soon, but until then, I'm going to give you the pointers to follow, but I'm not telling you exactly what you need to put in there. You may want to follow this here, okay? You may not, you may want to put your own things in. So it's your own ideas following this framework, okay? 90 words. So pause the video and give it your all. And all I'm going to say is you can email it to me, cnewbold@johnfernley.org, okay? I will forward them on to Mrs. Grimes. I think it's better if we coordinate our response and you just forward them on to me. Okay, and then we can divvy them out so she can have a look and monitor how you're doing and maybe give, she's going to see some of you next week in your mentor meetings to talk to you. So just do what you can. I hope you're all well. I'm going to say au revoir and merci beaucoup right now. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. And thank you ever so much.